Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network, or the BTM Crypto News Network. As my main man, BTM, always says, haters gonna hate. So let them hate. But moving forward, is XRP gonna be used by X for payments? I had that come up in the comments, so we're going to look at that as well as plenty other news updates from the XRP world. So let's get to it. Let me turn the spotlight on and see what we can see. So let's see here. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and super chat. Also, join the Black Tiger Miner Twitter page. I promise you guys, I've been trying to update the Discord. I just never have time to get back to it. But hopefully this weekend, we're actually going to get to it and see what is actually going on with the Discord, see if we can get it updated. Just thanks for your patience. And let me know if any of you guys have signed up and what is it that you like the most about the Discord, and if there is anything we can add or remove from the Discord. And that's weird because I just saw a video pop up, but it ain't here. I don't know what is going on. I see if we can find it. Maybe it is a short. Oh, that's weird. I guess we'll check back. So, as always, thanks for joining, and let's get to it on the Twitter update. That is weird. Why is this? What is this video here? Oh, okay. Never mind. Thanks for joining again. So, this is breaking news. XRP H bar will be speaking at the Digital Euro conference on the 27th, which is in 2 days. Two blockchain giants discussing the next era of digital finance. Don't sleep on this one. So definitely be some good information there. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. Comments. Just making sure the sound's there. So we are good. We are live. Swift Ripple. This point is Visa. This is how Ripple connects to the largest payment system in the world. Partnership is keys. XRP Swift, XRP Visa. Let's see if we got what we got here. Global connectivity, APIs, Swift, Ripple, EarthPoint. What is EarthPoint? Process via appropriate route, credits, funds, return transaction, EarthPoint partner, Swift, secure file transfer, and web services. Interesting. A to A product services, expanding Visa's reach. To expand Visa's reach, we launched a network of networks strategy 5 years ago. Visa Direct launch, EarthPoint acquisition, enable cross-border A2A payments via Visa Direct. Network of network strategy announced in Investor Day. Extended Visa to encompass all types of global payments, including A2A and RPT. Stablecoin settlements integration plotted begin piloting capabilities for issuers requiring to settle Visa in USDT. More information with the help of Ripple blockchain, interbank payments can indeed be made. But the exchange of the personal data should be confidential as possible, and only Swift can make it a good job of it, says Wim Raymaker, who the head of banking market division at Swift. Of course, Swift's going to say that. Uh, who are top mega players in Europe? London's East Point accepts payments from banks in more than 60 countries, making it the largest open network international bank transfer. Ripple protocol is used to record transfers of funds through Earthpoint distributed ledger and gateway pre-funded accounts. So I guess this Earthpoint has a big part in the process. Ripple is actively being integrated into Swift. Third-party partnerships like EastNet and Ripple are key to enabling XRP to move across Swift's network, ISO 20022. Interesting. And back to the profile. So this is, can XRP be used as X payments? Elon wants to create the Everything app. He wants to integrate blockchain payments to X. Watch the video to break down the comments and thoughts down below. Share video so Ripple XRP holders can weigh in. So I guess you guys are Ripple XRP holders. So let's see what Zach has.
Payments. That's right. The app that Elon Musk is building. Of course, Elon Musk is trying to build the Everything app. And included in that is the idea that X payments would become half of the global financial system. That is what Elon Musk recently just said in a recent podcast interview. And he believes if this could happen, that there would be the least amount of fraud. So if Elon wants to become half of the global financial system with the least amount of fraud, wouldn't you think he's going to integrate blockchain technology for X payments? We know that Elon is bullish on crypto. And of course, Dogecoin has been a darling for XRP or for X CEO Elon Musk. He's loved Dogecoin. However, everything in real time dealt with seamlessly, easy transactions. This is what Elon Musk wants. Isn't this exactly what XRP is all about? Now, listen, we're speculating here for sure, but recently Fox Business talked about this a couple weeks ago that X payments are coming soon. There's been an account created on X already, and there are rumblings that some meetings behind closed doors were taking place with Ripple CEO and Elon Musk. And again, if we're piecing the puzzle pieces together here, Brad Garlinghouse was recently on Fox Business, and they asked him about Ripple, the company, and they said, "Hey, Brad, are you going to take Ripple public?" He said, "Not right now." He said, "Right now we're focused on mergers, acquisitions, and partnerships." So, and he couldn't speak much more on that front. All I'm saying is XRP was created to do exactly what Elon wants to do. And I know a lot of people would say, well, XRP was created for the banks. So, yes, in some breath, that's true. But XRP was created to really destroy the banks, monopoly, and disintermediate them, cut out the middlemen. It was created as a better Bitcoin for more efficient peer-to-peer transactions because that's where Bitcoin really lacks. And with more capabilities right now, such as a DEX, tokenizing assets, and more, XRP is set up for mass adoption. The target was the average person and businesses, not banks or institutions. Banks and institutions are just adopting the technology before it's coming to the public. this narrative started by, a lot of the Bitcoin maxis that say, hey, it's the bank coin, it's the centralized coin. And really, that whole narrative has proliferated. But what Ripple's building here is more so for everybody. And, some other players are there, obviously XLM doing their part as well for peer to peer transactions. But the point here is XRP's ledger technology was built for DeFi, it was built for people too. And we know that Elon's going to do something with X payments. We know it's a worldwide app. Well, what's XRP used for? Cross border payments. So to me, in looking at all of this, it makes sense to speculate that X payments could, in some form or fashion, utilize what XRP has already built. We know in the same breath here that XRP just recently is being integrated into Swift. So Ripple's now integrated into Swift through EastNet's payment safe, allowing XRP to move seamlessly across the network. So that's huge. The fact that XRP is working alongside the Swift network, it's not going to completely take it over, but it's clear when we start to connect the dots that XRP is the bridge currency here. So it begs the question, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Make sure you guys do subscribe here to this channel because we try to get out in front of the hottest narratives, the big stories with XRP and all of crypto. But it would make a lot of sense that Elon's X payments could utilize and tap Ripple because it just perfectly aligns with what he wants to do. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Very curious to hear your guys' takes on this. And I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Also, check out all my links down below if you want to trade with me. I've got 2 preferred exchanges, BTCC and BidFi. Also partnered up with crypto.com. There's a link down below to that as well. And check out everything you need to see down in the description. And my trading indicator, XT Algo, is down there as well. Come on over and check it out as well. Share that on the screen with you guys. This is the best trading indicator in the game, guys. It will help you level up.
So let me know what you guys think about what Zach has said about the XRP cross-border payments. Keeping it pushing. Big pump is coming, 99% complete. XRP, nothing can stop what's coming. XRP will hit $3 today. So let's see where XRP is up 62%, 1.5% today. So them hitting $3 is kind of close to, let's see here, see if we can pull up the trading view real quick. See what you got. You're wrong. The next 15 days will create XRP millionaires in April. I hope you're right, Levi. Let's see here. This is the turbo chart. See if we can go to the XRP real quick. And this is XRP on the 4-hour chart. Looks like it is pushing up. This is market cap. Why does it always show market cap? Why? So this is the all-time high, $3. And this is a green candle on the 4-hour chart. RSI is up, and this is the low at $1.90. Let's check out the hour chart. Looks like it's holding pretty steady on the hour chart. And the RSI is coming up. Check the 15-minute chart. 50-minute chart shows a couple of green candles. Zoom in a little bit. Starting to step up. The RSI is way up on the 15-minute chart. And on the 5-minute chart, RSI is up. Really? What's going on? Base RSI is up. So we're looking for a push up. A serious push up is coming at some point, ladies and gentlemen. boys and girls, king, queens, and in betweens. I'm back. Let's go, XRP family. I'm hoping 5 by mid-April. Well, this guy's saying, Alfred, what's going on, brother? Welcome back, fam. This guy's saying $12 buy. He's saying it's gonna pump up by April. So let's see what my main man Levi has to say on the Black Tiger Miner or the BTM News Network. Let's give it a shot and we'll be right back.
XRP. If you want to do that, that's completely your choice. I respect your decision, but you're probably going to want to watch until the end of this video before you make up your mind on that. Because I'm going to be giving you guys tons of data and real world factual analysis to prove to you guys that you thinking that way is probably the worst possible thing you can do for your personal bags at this moment right now. And the first thing I want to talk about is something that taught me how to make a lot of money in cryptocurrency, something that's going to provide a lot of money to all of you guys when it just comes to investing in general, whether that be crypto, real estate, stock market, you name it. This is going to provide an immense amount of value. So I would say one of the most important indexes that exist when it comes to investing are consumer confidence indexes, small business indexes, large company indexes. These types of confidence indexes, they provide us with clarity on how the market is currently feeling. Now, I want to be very clear with all of you guys watching this video. Just because somebody feels very fearful does not mean you should sell. In fact, most cases, it means the polar opposite. In other words, when people are fearful, that's when you want to be bullish. When people are bullish, that's when you want to be bearish. Now, this sort of mentality will make you a lot of money. The reason for that will become very clear as we go through this video. But first, I want to talk about what the confidence indexes are saying as of right now. Now, I'm a Canadian. I live in Canada. I know some of you did not know that. And also, I've been looking at the indexes in both Canada and the US, and there's a very clear trend here. If you look at this index right here, we can see these are all of the all-time lows for consumer confidence data for small businesses across Canada. You can see the current fear index after Trump's tariffs is an all-time low over the course of the last 25 years. We have never seen this low, this index, ever since it started tracking at this level. And the reason for that is Trump's tariffs. Now, we're actually seeing a very similar trend also in the United States of America. They're basically hitting all-time lows on their consumer fear indexes as well, whether that be small business, medium business, or large business. The economic outlook is very uncertain. But the most important indicator in my personal point of view is small business. Now, why is that? Well, small business makes up the majority of the business across a country. In most countries, this is the case. And the reason for that is there's so many small individual mom and pop shops. But there's one thing that all of these smaller mom and pop shops have in common. And that is the fact that they do not have economic knowledge on what generally happens during these periods of time. Yes, it does make logical sense to feel fear when there is uncertainty, but there's a lot more certainty than many of these people realize. They're just not educated enough to fully understand exactly what is going on. Now, I want to talk about that because Trump's tariffs have actually become pretty predictable for myself, anyways, because I've been looking at the data every single day. And I want to share with you guys exactly how he generally works this out and the effects it has and how we can make money around this. You can see on March 21st, Trump made the announcement that on April 2nd, it's going to be Liberation Day for America and reciprocal tariffs are going to go live for.
Yeah. Pop, Kalo, your favorite YouTube crypto live from love from Minnesota. Minnesota. We are basically neighbors. Yes, you are. I didn't know he was in Canada either. So that's some good information. But yeah, I like Levi. Levi has a lot of, or is it Levy? Well, he has a lot of good information. But let's get back to the.
Absolutely everybody, and there's nothing that nobody can do about it. This is happening no matter what. And then all of a sudden, President Trump says that there's going to be flexibility on the reciprocal tariffs plan the next day. And of course, this has happened actually a couple of times now. He has said to Mexico, there is nothing you can do to remove these tariffs or postpone them or anything. And he said the same thing to Canada. But sure enough, a couple of days thereafter or a couple of days before, depending on which country we're talking about, he either suspended the tariffs or he did make changes to the tariffs, right? So basically, what this is causing is massive amounts of market fear because he makes a very strong statement saying there's nothing you can do about these tariffs. It is absolutely certain. And then what the markets do is they price this in. They say, okay, well, if these tariffs are going to go live, it's going to definitely slow down economic activity until all of these industries can make do with these changes and, of course, elevate their production in order to meet this new type of demand that's going to be in the markets. And then, of course, Trump then changes his plans again. And then generally, this causes a big rally because the market's priced in these tariffs not changing, and then they change, right? And so when you look at it logically and you see how Trump is very consistently shifting his message in this way and the effects it's having on the markets, well, then you can start to get an idea that, okay, Trump doesn't want these tariffs to be fully on the long term. Like he's going to have some kind of tariffs, definitely, but he's not going to put tariffs up to 50%, 100% or whatever, and then just keep those on and say, screw everybody. No, that's not going to happen. And so this is a really important context for what I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit here, because when we understand kind of how he operates, we can actually trade around it and consistently buy those bottoms. And of course, look to even sell the tops. But I just want to show you guys the undisputable evidence of the type of impact this generally has. You can see right here for Bitcoin, the market lost about 1.5 trillion USD right here. And then when the trade war actually officially started, then the market actually went down another 63.25% in a very short period of time here. We can see this has actually happened a few times in history. Where we saw that the markets actually go down a tremendous amount and then they actually bounce back. We can see that the extreme fear index during these periods of time, when like right around the time that the dumps were starting, it hit extreme fear. But if you are an investor during this time, after those dumps happen, you should be at the polar opposite end. You're literally able to buy something at a third of its actual fair value, right? And so that's really where we want to focus on. Now, there are other things happening in the economy as well, of course, like the debt ceiling growing in the United States and the United States giving a lot of money and them kind of changing around their political stance, which are also going to have some very big effects as well. But yeah, overall, I think the tariffs are the number one thing we need to focus on because we know April 2nd is the date and we have a good idea of how Bitcoin and XRP and the rest of the crypto market generally perform during these periods of time, right? You look at like February right here, and what happened immediately once the trade war debacle really started kicking off, it was met with a lot of negative price action. But then there was a much more significant amount during the period of time where Trump was saying, okay, these tariffs are going on no matter what. There's nothing you can do. Bitcoin literally went from $99,000 per coin right here all the way down to a low of $78,000 per coin on the 28th of February once these started. But we scroll in and just a little bit here, we can see almost immediately after hitting this low, we rebounded, right? I mean, we went down from 99,000 right here all the way down to 78,000 right here, which is insane for Bitcoin, considering this only took like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to do that, by the way. 1 week, we went from that price point. That's insane. But then almost immediately we bounced back up here to $94,000. And then the next day, down to $85,000 and then another rebound again. And then, of course, when we go into March here, we can see that, of course, with the tariffs happening there was another massive market sell-off followed by another rebound again. Now, in general, when you look at this chart, you can see that Bitcoin is most definitely trending towards the downside, especially in more recent history. And that is largely in part due to these tariffs. It's creating uncertainty in the market. A lot of people are selling. But here's the deal, guys. If you were able to buy Bitcoin over here, over here, over here, over here, I mean, at the prices right here, you would do it, right? You got to remember that. But like, you also got to remember the fact that there was a lot of sell-offs during this time too. And people were very fearful at these times as well. Right here in August, people were extremely fearful. Bitcoin was hitting $55,000 per coin. They're like, okay, like this is horrible. Extreme fear in the markets, right? So that's the deal, right? Like when you zoom out, you can see there are many more examples of massive dumps happening over here, here, all over the place. And then we have a huge rally. Everyone's extremely bullish. And then just when people hit their all-time high in terms of bullishness, big corrections, big corrections. And then when we're at all-time highs in terms of fear, nobody's buying, right? And that's where you guys are wrong. Nobody is buying at these prices. The volume numbers can't lie, right? The volume numbers are just, showing that the volume is like basically at all-time lows across multiple different exchanges all across the globe. And I want to be very clear, this is also extremely true for XRP as well. When you look at the daily chart, you can see it has followed a pretty much identical pattern to Bitcoin during this period of time because, of course, Bitcoin is a market leader. Now, admittedly, XRP is actually holding much better than 99% of the rest of the market. And that's why I'm trading it so actively. But you can see here, guys, every single one of my buys on these red days, I am doing this. And I'm selling on these green days. Look, buy, red day, sell, green day, buy right after a big red day, buy again right here. We sell up here, we sell up here. And now I'm buying again after these most recent dips. And I'm going to continue to do that. And we're currently up on this position right here. And I have more trigger orders set in case we do go lower. And guys, in this period of time right here, with all of these buys and sells that has happened in this pretty much not even 1 month period of time, we have made thousands of dollars. Okay. And you guys can too. And that's why I'm making today's video. I want you guys to be able to make thousands of dollars with me. And lucky for you guys, well, you can trade and grow and conquer crypto with me and completely for free. Okay. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is sign up on these exchanges right here, BTCC or BitUnix. You can deposit at least $100 of any crypto, and you can just transfer it from whatever exchange you're on right now, and then fill out this little form right here. All it requires is your name, email, and exchange user ID. And then as soon as you finish out this form, I'm going to send you guys an email. You might want to check your spam folder. Sometimes it gets in the spam folder, and that email will give you VIP access to our private Discord and Telegram channels where you can see and copy all of my trades the moment I make them, full transparency. Okay. And yes, we're making hundreds of percentages on the month trading like this. And I want you guys to be able to do this with me. So what are you guys waiting for? Get on in that website, link down below, sign up, and I'll see you guys in the Discord or Telegram, whichever one you choose to join in.
So shout out to Levi for that concise information. And moving forward on the BTM Crypto News Network, Golden Mac Cross for XRP. The future is looking bright. So we did see that XRP cross earlier. Let me see, why is it still up? So this is actually the RSI indicator. So we'll switch to the MACD. I don't know why you can only see one now. We used to be able to see two indicators, but I guess they ramped it up. Everybody's trying to make a buck. Okay, so this is the MACD cross, and you can see the volume building on the 5-minute chart, volume building on the 15-minute chart after the MACD cross. On the hour chart, the MACD cross looked like it crossed, and there's volume building as well. And on the 4-hour chart, same thing, it crossed, but the volume's going down. And it looked like it crossed again. We do see green candles across the board. And currently, XRP's up 0.84%. Let me see, Coin Watch, go back to home. And we'll see what's going on. Currently, XRP's back and forth. It fell again under Tether and USD. I'll be glad when this gets figured out because this back and forth every single day is driving me crazy. I wish one of these would pull away so it's not up and down every day. But I guess the market needs volatility. So it's going to keep flipping back and forth all day, every day. So Powell is up 5.9%, Peanuts up 1.6, Renders up 6.7, AVAX is up 7.5, Hertz up 2.3, Giga Chad is up 17.2, Turbo's up 1.6, Dodge is up 4.8, Cardano's up 2.3. FTT is up 1.3. Snake is up 8.4. Mr. Miggles is up 9.1. Near's up 3.4. CRO is up 28.4. I think there was an announcement today about CRO. We'll get back to that as well. XRP is the number one performer on the Korean exchange. What? XRP is the number one performer, up 16.8% in volume. There is some kind of weird manipulation going on here, guys. Crypto is never straightforward. It's always a lot of back and forth malarkey, right? A lot of malarkey involved. While most chase meme pumps, this is what real utility looks like. XRP, XLM, XDC, Algo, and IOTA are being positioned as a digital asset pegged to physical commodities: gold, silver, copper, palladium, and rhodium. What the heck is palladium and rhodium? The freak is rhodium? Well, of course, XRP is gold, XLM is silver, XDC is copper. I need to pick up some more XDC and Algo. I'm not even sure what palladium is. Or was it iridium? One-on-one asset backing base 3 tier 1 regulatory alignment. Not just crypto, it is the future of the collateralized value. Stable coins, crypto currency or token pegged to a commodity, AI, dollar metal asset, Stellar XLM, and XRP IMF Basel 3. Interesting. Very good information. Let me know what you guys think about that. Jimmy V says 500 billion restitution for XRP holders, arguing SEC's lawsuit caused massive losses and stunted XRP's price potential. Major players like Amazon and Walmart have already joined the crypto trading fund network. Now you can see why I'm bullish on XRPL's leading DeFi token. With a 20 billion market cap, it sends CTF token from $1 to $78 per token, and a 20 billion is easily done, much less than 20% of XRP's current market cap. What is CTF token? So this is my main man Brad Gansenhouse. Let's see what Brad has to say real quick.
95% of our customers are non-US customers. About 40% of our business is in the Asia Pacific region in terms of payment flows. And again, our customers, Ripple, the company, our customers are banks, financial institutions, payment providers. We use the XRP ledger, and we use the token XRP to kind of facilitate these transactions. Some people get confused about which is which, but Ripple, the company, our customers are all these banks and financial institutions. 95% of our customers are non-US.
So that's good for Ripple and keeping it pushing. Market cycles will change, utility cycle versus hype cycles. Pay attention now. This is not time to be fearful. And consider this is a 20-minute video. I'll have it on the Black Tiger Miner News Network. You can come check it out. We're not going to get into that. XRP will skyrocket to 10,000 before December. If you believe, hit the like button. XRP spikes to 21,000 live on TV and a recorded price glitch. DeFi on the XRPL is about to explode. The lending DeFi project on XRPL CTF token is set to soar. Why does everybody keep talking about this CTF token? About 20 billion market cap, pushing CTF from 70 cents to $700 per coin. Yeah, right. That would be nice. Trade CTF on Mexi. Definitely not messing with Mexi. But we'll definitely check out CTF. Rumors saying XRP is coming to X, confirmed with X payments. Fox announced X payments after a meeting reported between Elon and Ripple CEO at the White House.
The app X wants to become a super app and expand its reach with plans to release a payment system later this year. The CEO of X, Linda Yaccarino, posting that X Money will, quote, connect you in ways never thought possible, XTV, X Money, Grok, and more. Elon Musk has not yet publicly commented on the launch, but an official X Money account was created this month and already has more than 140,000 followers. Media app X wants to.
So this is, if XRP ever blows up, I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm renting a billboard and saying it. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I should make a t-shirt. I told you so. XRP since day one. Even after all the scams, after blow-ups, after the lawsuits, we still continue to hold XRP. So put 100 in the chat if you know where it's at. And if you've been with XRP since day one, actually put a day one in the chat. Just go ahead and type it in there. Are you ready for the major announcement? Yes or no? I'm ready. Where's the announcement? And of course, XRP Healthcare, which nobody is really talking about, but it is coming. XRP Healthcare becomes public company via IPO Q3 2025, accelerating AI and M&A expansion. So that is it for the Twitter news. Let's see what my main man. Let's see. This is the most recent video here. I think there was a short video in here somewhere. Looking for a small video, but I guess we'll go back with uh stock mo real quick. See what he had
Out
to
there,
say.
folks. We are seeing crypto absolutely bounce off those support levels. Now, are we going to? And a lot of it, including XRP. If you're with me on this ride, hit that like button. Let's get over 1,000 likes as quickly as possible. We're going to be celebrating the 700,000 subscribers we got as well. Hit that subscribe button. Join us on that one. We'll be talking more about that. That'll be later in the week. But I'm going to be doing live stream trading today at 2 o'clock Eastern in the Discord. If you have not joined, get in there today because we are going to have a lot of fun. I have been on absolute fire over there. All you got to do is click the first link here. Once you do, you'll be in the membership. And let's see if we can do it. Boom, there we go. And join up at Kraken and take advantage. I have a little join button up here. These are the ones I just shared for the brand new portfolio I just started. Take advantage of it, family. Get into Kraken today. Now, what's happening out there? Well, yesterday we had a monster move. I try to explain it to everybody. We come out here, and I know there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I've been telling you, trying to be the voice of reason. When everyone else is out there screaming, stock market crash, crypto crash, everything's over, sell, sell, sell. I was the voice of reason. I'm the one who I've been around the block. You guys know I was an old financial advisor and, of course, educator, high school and college level, a couple national championships under my belt. I'm here to talk you off that selling ledge because we have a lot of opportunities moving forward. The fear and greed indicator, I talk about this. It was all the way down at 15. I told you it might be one of the best times out there in the last year or two to buy. We had that opportunity. Now it's going up. Still fearful. People are still fearful. You can feel it. It's a fake rally. It's not going to happen. And all of a sudden, it just keeps going. And that's where the experience of being in this industry for decades, you get that benefit. You've been through this and you follow the charts, which I'm going to go over now. So I want you to know this is a very bullish feeling I have. And from what I'm saying, doesn't mean we're not going to have red days. You could have a red day today. And that is normal after having a major push up the day before. So understand what I'm telling you. And you look at the markets, you can say, whoa, yesterday. Yeah, this is yesterday right here. And you can see Russell up 2.5%, NASDAQ up 2.2. That is incredible. A monster day. Called it. We already knew it was going to happen. 1.76 on the S&P, 1.42 on the Dow. I love what I'm saying. But today, after a massive green day, I would not be surprised to see a 0.5% to 1% pullback and then more green moving forward, but green for the week overall by the end of this week. That's how I play it. Now, moving into the crypto, what's pushing us? What's going on? Well, all of it together, you see a lot of people watching Trump. Is President Trump going to soften the tariff stance? I am actually I call it a Trump put. He's not going to let these markets go too low. They're already down in that 10 to 15% range as a official correction for them. And I think at that point, he's watching. He knows he can say things, do things to make the markets pump. He's not afraid to do it. And so when you hear articles saying, will Trump soften the tariffs? Well, we've already kind of seen that already where they get postponed. Oh, it's going to be, I don't even, was it February 1st or 2nd, whatever. Then it gets postponed to March. And then we push some out to April. In other words, I believe the answer is yes. I believe all the countries involved will come to agreements. I don't think it's like, for those out there who are just like, put the hammer down, tariffs everywhere. The tariffs aren't good. All right. And so in the long run, we will see all countries who are trying to work and grow together come to agreements that is beneficial, hopefully for all those involved, to allow the growth of all the economies. But we'll wait and see. Maybe not, though. Maybe it has to become a tariff war, and then the markets would crash. But I don't think we're at that point yet. So personally, there's always the option that you could see that tariff war lead to a massive recession, if not a depression. That's always a possibility. I will let you know that I think the odds are extremely high that that is not the case. And I will let you know that. I also know that we have a lot of data coming in regarding recessions that could absolutely cripple the economy. I know because I saw the Fed, I think it was the Atlanta Fed, come out and say we're going to have a negative GDP for Q1. And that could lead to a same thing for Q2, giving us an official recession. But I also know that after 2 quarterly declines, we are a recession, but most recessions bottom out before the end of the recession. In other words, the markets bottom out and they start to recover before the recession is officially even declared. A lot of times that may be the case here. So, in other words, it felt like a recession last quarter. I should say this whole first quarter, didn't it? It really did. So it may be. But you're not going to have a recession like a really serious one with unemployment at 4.1. If you get unemployment to 4.5 to 5%.
All right, we'll swing back to stock mode real quick. This is Planet Crypto about crypto rally higher.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Linux Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on the crypto markets. We'll talk about Bitcoin.
XRP holders, the time to be bullish is here. You
also
need more
there's
XRP.
no real altcoin outside of that I want to urgently talk about. There's definitely been some action today, and you can see the volume is also quite high. The U.S. market opened an hour ago, so there is activity. But I think all of the bigger altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, all of them are interesting. So we'll focus on that as well. But first of all, opening so far, this morning was quite leveraged again for Bitcoin. So we'll start off with the fundamentals and Bitcoin. We had some minor economic data today with new home sales. Usually that doesn't make the market move, and in this case, the data is good. So that's good to see. In general, the economic data for the US has been quite good. So I think that's also one of the key reasons why we still have a very bullish stock market, because the stock market opened bullish again. All right, you can see right here that we had a little bit of a gap since yesterday. We filled that instantly, and still looks great right now. Look, at some point of time, and I've told you this before, at some point of time we have to fill this gap. I rarely see gaps with the stock market that do not get filled, but for now, like I said, with the economic data coming out, with some sort of a minor break above a key level here, it looks like the short-term direction for the stock market is still most likely to be up. And that, in combination with the Coinbase Bitcoin price, which is also still at a premium, makes me expect a bullish Bitcoin, even though it's been struggling a little bit here, as you can see. But I do think it's most likely. Why is this in letters now? I don't want this in letters. But can I not? No, I cannot. But no, I mean, we still have to look. For me, the most important level that we're heading towards right now is this level right here. All right, you have the you have it's basically around 88,500. It's a strong, it's like we spent a lot of volume there. You have the POC there of the TPO. So what I expect with the strength that we're seeing right here is that we will test that level. And by the way, I mean, if I take this out, this is the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame also structure wise looks good enough to get into that level. And then my prediction for the continuation for today depends a lot on how we react to that level. All right, I need to see. Look, initially we will definitely find resistance, but I need to see some sort of a swift continuation of the structure we have right now, right? So there's a minor key level here at 87,800. What I want to see is that we get up to that level. That's what I expect, and that we then find some resistance, but then afterwards break above that. Then I think we can get into that level right here between 90 and 92,000 and reject from there. But if we're unable to do that, and for this, the low time frame structure is key. Like if we get up to that level right here at 88,500 and we are not able to hold up some sort of a low time frame bullish structure, and the stock market falls down, because the stock market, I mean, that is something you have to keep your eyes on for certain. This is one of the main reasons why Bitcoin has been strong. So if this all of a sudden looks like it's going to fill that gap, which is not the case right now, but if it starts to look like that, then Bitcoin is going to fall down as well. But also, look, I think a bullish continuation is most likely, so that we will be able to do something like this. But it is still worth it to actually keep an eye on the 1 hour time frame at least, to at least be able to monitor whether we actually keep some sort of a bullish structure, or whether there's some sort of a breakdown. But like I said, for now this seems most likely, given the strong stock markets, given also the leverage we've lost. We've lost some leverage right here, which I think is good. The volume is decently high. It's around $32 billion, and the Coinbase Bitcoin price is at a premium. So that's why I'd say this is most likely, even though it's still a little bit unstable, I'd say. But all right, so talking about the bigger altcoins, first of all, to start off with XRP, nothing has changed. We're getting a little bit more bullish momentum here, but that's, well, that doesn't really matter. Like I said this morning, we're waiting for a breakout of either 2.5 or below below this level right here at 2.4. Until that happens, we'll just remain flat. And XRP in general, if you take a look at the volume as well in the last 24 hours, it's really flattening out, which is not the worst, but it's definitely not something interesting to trade or to spend too much time about right now. What I do think is interesting though is Solana. All right, over the course of today, we've actually seen quite a lot of strength from Solana and its ecosystem. Talk about meme coins as well, such as Popcat, Mew. But Jupiter was also trying to get some mean reversion and some more bullish momentum. I think it's all great for Solana, but I don't think this is anything we can act upon. Maybe if we get some sort of a sustained break above the monthly open right here at 148, 150, we can try to long short term into 170, 168. But for now, we're still at a major resistance level. Well, I see no fundamental reason to be very bullish on Solana, and there's a lot of leverage. All right, so even though I definitely do think you need to keep this on your watch list, and if we see some more confirmation, maybe it's a good long. But for now, I'd say it's most likely that this is not interesting enough to buy, and also more likely to retrace at some point of time soon. And lastly, Ethereum, wanted to keep an eye on that, mostly on ETH BTC. What you can see is that ETH BTC has started to form some sort of a bottom right here. I think this is something you need to keep your eyes on. All right, Ethereum has been showing some strength in the last 7 days. And you don't want to miss that, right? If Ethereum is actually able, or if ETH BTC is able to break above this resistance level right here at 0.024, Ethereum can massively outperform Bitcoin and rally up to like 2250 very quick, right? So that's definitely something you need to keep your eyes on as well. In terms of other altcoins, look, there are some there are some interesting altcoins. Something like BitTensor is trying to break out right here. Ondo arguably already has broken out, or at least is trying its best to make this a real breakout. And then there's some other coins that are interesting as well, but those are I don't want to spend up too much time talking about all of those. And at this point of time specifically, there's also not necessarily something that's looking very strong with volume. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say this afternoon. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all in my next videos. Bye.
So shout out to Cleansic Crypto for that video as well on the BTM Crypto News Network. Let's go. So moving forward, this is Oscar. Let's see what Oscar has to say about XRP Ripple owners happening in front of your eyes.
The positive SEC news with the key momentum indicators flipping bearish to warn the price slide. And you can take a look at this, guys. Technical analysis basically saying, watch out because the trend is going down. And guess what people are saying? FUD desk, FUD. Another token criticism article, and basically saying hit piece, right? Which, when you take a look at the price of XRP right now, I know it's extremely difficult to predict prices. I get it. Price of XRP is rejecting a nice 240 and is coming closer, right, to that 250 once again, which is really good. We also have this just happened yesterday. I'm sure that some of you saw it, guys. I will say, man, are you ready for another XRP ETF? What do I mean? Well, Crypto.com yesterday announced that they're partnering with Truth Social from the Trump media company, right? A Trump company, basically, in order to launch more ETFs. And Crypto.com is going to provide all the bells and whistles to make sure that happens with all the protection, security, and power of the company. And well, you can see right there, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Crow, and XRP, a few, right? I mean, there's many more. Could be baskets, could be individual dedicated, but you know XRP will get approved for its many ETFs. And this is going to be just one more that is going to be added to the entire picture, which is really, really nice. Here's the official one, which we may see it a little bit. We also have some news, not related, but important because they come from BlackRock. And you know, we've been waiting for some BlackRock news when it comes to XRP, and it's coming, guys. They're expanding to Solana, which is good. BlackRock adds its blockchain-based money market fund to Solana. Good job. Solana also doing well today. You take a look at the price of everything right now. XRP 245, Solana 146. Man, it's doing. It was 144. Let's go, man. Making money. Bitcoin 88. Let's go. We're seeing green. Let me tell you the full story, guys. We're bullish today, and no matter what it is, no matter if it's down or up, long term, we're gonna make some money, guys. Drop a like, fam. Consider subscribing to the channel and turn on those notification bells. Things are changing, as you can tell. First link down below. Join me, of course, on BTCC to start trading. But today, as I told you in my previous XRP video, I got this one from BitUnex. I'll tell you more soon, guys. I want you to get over 8,000 USDT benefits. Okay. Now, we also big news today, right? I think Trump with World Liberty Financial right now. I mean, guys, where do we even begin? There's so much going on right now in crypto, and I think it's sending shockwaves to the entire crypto space, to Solana, to Bitcoin, to Ethereum, to XRP, guys. World Liberty Financial, linked to former President Donald Trump, has launch USD1, a dollar-pegged stablecoin. Now, Oscar, how will that work with RLUSD, the one by Ripple? Great question. And here's the answer. There's gonna be a lot of money up for grabs on the table. That's why you have USDT, USDC, RLUSD, now USD1, and many more. The stable coin bill is up. It's right now in Congress. It's working its way up. It's working the approval process. The stable coin act right now, they're getting some framework, they're getting some resolutions, they're getting some agreements done. And it's going to be a big one when it comes to money, when it comes to big financial companies and crypto companies and everybody here, right? Consumers. So they're trying to make it work. And they've been working on that for years, right? Stablecoin Act, stablecoin bill, basically. So pretty exciting. Once it passes, they want to be ready. And obviously, the president's company, World Liberty Financial, they know because they've talked to they've talked to all the big players, Crypto.com, Ripple, Coinbase, Robinhood, right? All the exchanges that you want, all the layer ones that you want, all the great CEOs, they know what really is on everybody's minds. And they're like, okay, so we need a stable coin. Let's make one. And that's what they made, USD1. So, guys, pretty crazy. It's will it be good for XRP? Would it be good for Ripple? Would it be good for crypto? Well, guys, our industry is at almost 3 trillion. Let me see. It's an almost $3 trillion, and it's gonna be way higher, way more. It will indeed. So the $2.45 that you see for XRP, guys, that's bare minimum. So if you want to start trading by buying like I've been doing, as I'm telling you at the very beginning, you might need more XRP. It's up to you how much. Is your choice and your decision to continue doing your due diligence. Well, if you live here in the United States and in many different places because they have licenses everywhere, I welcome you guys to BitUnex officially for the first time here on the channel. They reach out to me. We got a nice deal, and basically we're not pushing this one because it's another good exchange, guys, where you can start earning some rewards. You sign up with my link. It's the second link. So first one is BTCC, and the second one will be BitUnex, where you can sign up, guys. If you like to trade dedicated and cross and everything, this is the place for you to go. You will have my code right there. So email, password, similar to BTCC, and you're good to go, everybody. This is one of the fastest growing crypto derivatives. So if you're liking the futures like I do, this is your place to, okay? So give it a try. If you like BTCC, if you like weeks, I introduce you guys to BitUnex for the first time, and I think it's gonna be a nice transition, just so you have all kinds of options, right? And see which one you like the most. But really happy to be sharing this with you guys. Now, coming here, look, XRP's bull run may be finished. $3 is the level for bulls to beat. Technical analysis. Guys, oh baby. Some people really want some cheap XRP. Some people really want other people to sell their XRP, or they just cannot stand, they can't stand XRP doing well, right? So as you can see, a lot of people are saying FUD, and more FUD. But I get it, man. I mean, I know that all kinds of people right now are trying to get their hands on cheap crypto, Bitcoin and more. And Bitcoin right now, we just passed 88. And look at it. We're seeing some money coming into this space, guys. Make sure you are looking ahead, all eyes open. I mean, my goal is to get one Bitcoin. I have a lot of XRP. I'm very grateful. Now I just want to get one Bitcoin and then move back to XRP. I'm just doing what I want. I think things are rolling out pretty well. And just sharing with you guys that long term is the way to go. And I'm going to just end with this. Yesterday, as some of you know, I was watching the Crypto.com CEO AMA. typically happen every 4 or 5 months. And this one was a big one, right? First thing he said is, forget about the 4-year cycle. Everything has changed. I'm like, okay, then if one of the biggest crypto CEOs in the world, right, is saying that, it means that other people believe it too. That means that we might not see the mega altcoin season in 2025, but it might come soon after that. There's only one way to find out, but you better get ready, because once it comes, it will be something that we've never seen before. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm so bullish, and I wish you the best, XRP holders. Like and subscribe, and links down below. Join us. Peace.
So shout out to Oscar for that, and that's good information. Thanks for Oscar and the
Links down
information
below.
to
Join
the
us. Peace.
BTM crypto channel. So moving forward, this is the JWK show. Let's see which is newer. Let's see what the JWK actually, or the JWK show. Actually, let's check this Ripple confirm. What's going on with XRP? Pay attention.
Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Also, don't forget to check out the free Discord down in the description below. There's also a premium side to it as well, but there's a ton of great free information in there. We just surpassed over 11,000 members in that Discord. So what are you guys waiting for? Join up. You won't regret it. Now, with that in mind, over the last couple of days, we've been, seeing some green in the market. Nothing too crazy just yet. If we actually look at the crypto list, we can see that Bitcoin is just ranging around $87,000, Ethereum around 2,000, XRP around $2.40 some cents. On the 24-hour span, we are seeing some nice gains across the board. Again, a lot of this is just bounces off of the lows, but it's good to see some green after having such, boring price action. I mean, right now, if we look at the top gainers in the last 24 hours in the top 500, again, double-digit figures across the board. We love to see it. I know that we're not seeing like insane gains, and a lot of this is just bounces off the lows, but it's good to see a little bit of price movement in this space. Now, a lot of that definitely does have to pertain to the tariff discussions and things like that cooling off, which I probably will be making a video on shortly, because it is a very important subject around this space and what is going to be happening next for this entire space if those discussions continue to kind of cool off, which again, I will address. But outside of that, we are starting to see some pretty big updates from the SEC and even from Congress. Number one, we have here Justin, the SEC to shift focus away from crypto enforcement under new leadership. This is great. And, I think that it already kind of started. We've been seeing a lot of approvals happening in the US around crypto companies, ETFs, things like that. So, I think that we are probably going to continue to see a lot more updates coming from the SEC, but also a lot of green lights across the board for a lot of things, including, of course, ETFs. And you guys already know, now we're focused on the XRP ETFs. There's over 18 filings for XRP ETFs. So once these do get the green light, I do believe that that's going to be a massive game changer for XRP. I mean, even right now with XRP trading around $2.40 some cents, everyone's waiting for a big catalyst. Again, I think that we probably get the announcement from the SEC Thursday after their closed door meeting around the case basically being finished. After that, I do believe that we see ETF filings getting approved. And if that is the case, then XRP from $2.40 some cents will probably see a nice gain. I wouldn't mind seeing a double in value to like $5. I think that would be great to see. But outside of that, we still are targeting a few big updates coming around XRP because of that case being finished. And I do think that Ripple's also going to expand rapidly going forward as well. But on top of that, we did see a big update from Eleanor Tourette over on X. New from me, White House pushes to get stablecoin legislation to Senate floor next month. Plus, what's happening in Washington this week, crypto policy, take center stage at Wednesday's Digital Chamber Blockchain Summit. Now, when we think about what's going on with stablecoins, I've always said it. Stablecoins are going to continue to heat up in a big way. You could probably already see on the right side of my screen, Circle's USDC gains approval in Japan. We also saw a big update from the Trump media accounts and also even Crypto.com. They're set to launch ETFs amidst token controversy. Now, everyone has talked about certain things around Crypto.com and things like that. But at the end of the day, we are starting to see some pretty big updates happening around Crypto.com and stablecoins in general in this space. I do think that stablecoins are going to become a much bigger piece of this entire market. I've always said it, right? Right now, we're sitting at like $200 some billion, expected to be trillions within 3 years. So we are going to see stablecoins accelerate in a big way, grow in a big way. And I think it all begins with legislation. Now, talking about that, we have over here, the bill is now set to advance to the Senate floor, where Majority Leader John Thune is expected to bring it up for debate. However, before the bill can be signed into law, it must also pass through the House of Representatives, where lawmakers will need to resolve any differences between the Genius Act and the House's version, the Stable Act. The Stable Act, sponsored by French Hill and Brian Steele, is scheduled for markup in the House Financial Services Committee on April 2nd. However, the White House hopes that if the Senate's version of the bill gets enough support, it will be signed into law in its current form. So again, we could have stablecoin legislation signed into law probably by the end of April, if all goes well. But it's at this point in time, I feel like it's almost guaranteed that stablecoin legislation will be enacted in law by the end of this year. And that's going to be huge for ROUSD. It's going to be huge for Ripple. And I also do think that's going to be huge for the XRP ledger and XRP. Now, talking about Ripple, talking about XRP, things like that, Brad Garlinghouse, the Ripple CEO, was recently on Fox Business. And we have here that, as I said today on Mornings Maria, I strongly believe we are underestimating what it means to unlock the U.S. market through upcoming crypto legislation, as well as previous guidance and statements rescinded from the SEC and the OCC allowing financial institutions to work with crypto. With 4+ years of headwinds behind us, the U.S. is ready to reclaim its leadership position. And again, this is all after the case is basically finished. We're waiting for the SEC announcement. I believe that happens this Thursday. But here we have the official video. I know it's a little bit longer of a video clip. I typically do not play long video clips, but this one is definitely worth listening to because we are seeing a lot of talks about the SEC dismissal and what it really means for the U.S. market around the expansion. And big shout out to Bank XRP for this. Check it out.
Welcome back. Let's check crypto prices this morning. Take a look. They're higher across the board. The Securities and Exchange Commission has ended its investigation into crypto exchange Ripple, the latest, of several deregulation actions by the Trump administration in the digital asset sector. Joining me now is the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, back with us. Brad, great to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
It's great to be back. Nice to see you.
Well, congrats on this move by the SEC. What does this enable you to do at this point?
Look, thank you. Congrats to, I think, the whole industry in a bunch of ways. As you know well, Ripple is really amongst the very first crypto companies to get sued by the SEC. We said then when it started that the SEC was going to be on the wrong side of the law as well as on the wrong side of history. It took longer than we would have liked to kind of prove that out and more than $150 million of legal bills. But we're thrilled with the ultimate outcome. It allows us to really unlock the U.S. market, which has really been very hostile with a lot of headwinds in the U.S. market for the whole crypto industry.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw investors react to it, XRP seeing a gain over the last week. But Brad, I want to get your take on what Japanese banks may be preparing to do in terms of adopting XRP. What can you tell us about the growth story at Ripple when you look across the world, overseas markets?
Well, once the United States government filed suit, we really were kind of frozen in the U.S. market. And so about 95% of our customers today, Ripple's customers, are non-U.S. financial institutions. And those are some of the largest financial institutions ranging from HSBC and BBVA to payment providers you wouldn't necessarily have heard of. Markets like Japan, I think, are still unlocking. The market opportunity here is massive. You have trillions of dollars flowing cross-border globally. It's still largely dominated by the SWIFT network, if you will. And that's architecture. That's a technology architecture that's developed 50 years ago. There's an opportunity to modernize. That takes time, particularly when you have a government in the U.S. kind of combating that innovation. But that's changing now. The Trump effect, if you will, is profound. You're seeing that in asset prices, but you're also going to see that in the adoption of these technologies.
Yeah, and I think so. When you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas? Or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. These 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months. So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But the United States is finally unlocked, and I think people are underestimating how big that change is, and you'll see that continue to play out this year.
Yeah. Now, President Trump spoke at the Digital Asset Summit in New York City last week. Here's a clip. Watch.
Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country. And it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. It's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together, we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world.
And the president signed 2 executive orders as part of his pro-crypto agenda, including strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology and establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile. Brad, give us your outlook and really what those 2 executive orders may do. What else do you need to see in order to see stability and growth out of digital assets?
Well, look, in terms of what else we need to see, I think what the president has already done is, and he has used the expression, promises made, promises delivered. The unlock for U.S. financial institutions is absolutely happening. Banks that were really hesitant and really nervous about touching crypto technologies or even helping their customers. Those banks and those financial institutions are leaning in now. And that's a big deal for sure, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. So he has certainly lived up. And I think we will see the U.S. finally start to catch up with the leadership we're seeing from other markets around the world that they've really taken the lead. And we need to invest here and see some of these U.S. companies thrive.
Yeah, and we've spoken with the regulators about this. We spoke with Cynthia Loomis 2 weeks ago and last week with French Hill as they craft the regulatory framework. What's most important to you in terms of the regulation part of this? Let me run this. Cynthia Loomis and French Hill with us just in the last 2 weeks. Here's what they said about regulation. Watch.
Bitcoin is a commodity, so it will be regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Some other cryptocurrencies look more like a security and should fall under the disclosure requirements at the SEC. So part of what we want to do is guide what is a commodity and what is a security and provide that kind of clarity in the law so we can let agencies know who has jurisdiction over what.
A big developed country like the United States, we already have many, many ways to instantaneously pay for things. And this wouldn't be top of mind, but it will be lower cost in foreign markets. You reduce the cost of foreign exchange, you reduce the cost of fees across borders. And so in some countries where they have an unstable currency, a weak banking system, not a very good payment system, a smartphone app with a digital wallet with a dollar-backed stablecoin is a good way, even at retail, to do a transaction.
Brad, what's most important for the regulators to understand as they create this new framework for digital assets?
Well, look, the good news is people like Congressman Hill, they do understand. They understand how important it is for these technologies to thrive here in the U.S., and they have started to architect bills to help enable that. I very much agree with Senator Loomis. It can't just be, executive orders. It needs to be codified with legislative efforts by Congress. We're seeing a lot of forward movement. A stablecoin bill is already going through markup, and I think we'll see that come to a vote in the next 4 to 8 weeks. There's the second one that Senator Loomis also talked about was what we often call a market structure bill, providing clarity that we've been asking for as an industry as to how will these technologies, these tokens be regulated. Are they commodities? Are they securities? XRP was deemed to be a commodity or not a security by a federal judge, which is the opposite of what the SEC had said. So to see the SEC really combat lawfare and to attack this industry and now have leaders like Senator Loomis and really heroic leadership from Congressman Hill, I think it's going to make all the difference in the world. And I think we're going to see both a market structure bill and a stablecoin bill pass in the next 6 months.
So what does that mean for Ripple?
Well, it means the clarity we have been asking. And Maria, you and I have talked this probably over the years, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
To get that regulatory clarity so that the customers we engage know they can engage in good faith and to use these technologies without fear of regulators coming in and attacking them. That's a big deal. And that will allow this innovation, allow more job creation, more innovation, and frankly, capital formation here in the United States.
Understood. Brad, it's great to catch up with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So there we have it, right? Like when we really think about what's happening in the US and even around this entire space, I am so extremely bullish on the future for crypto. It's not even just about Ripple. It's not even just about XRP because listen, I understand that I make a lot of XRP content on this channel. It's because XRP is definitely a completely, it's a special project in the space, right? We got to understand that it's been around since 2012. We know Ripple has been around a little bit longer, but XRP has remained in the top 10 since inception, okay? Now, if we think about that, to remain in the top 10, even through an SEC lawsuit, and to be one of the first major cryptocurrency, projects in the space that has a built-in DEX, basically the first DeFi project that this space has ever known, XRP is extremely unique. It's extremely special. But I do hold other projects, and I just feel as if right now around crypto, everything is changing to accommodate for these technologies to actually be integrated, utilized. I mean, just like Brad is saying, there is no fear now. All the concerns, all the fear that was there for institutional players, for the major banks, whatever company out there, like fintechs as well. For all of those players that actually wanted to utilize this technology, but were too scared to because they were bullied by the SEC and this attack on this industry, that's all gone. Which means we are about to see tremendous amounts of not just, value unlocked, because you got to remember that there's going to be trillions of dollars entering into this space because of the green light that's basically on crypto right now. Obviously, yes, we still have to wait on legislation. We still have to wait on a few other things. But at the end of the day, we're already starting to see those big players like BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. All of the big players are jumping in. He did mention HSBC. He mentioned a lot of those big banks that are already tapped in with Ripple. Yeah, they're already here. They're already ready. And they're bringing trillions of dollars of assets with them. So when we actually think about what's going on here, when we think about how big the US market actually is to be unlocked, and we now have pro innovation happening, and we're starting to see pro legislation, and the SEC is now working with this industry. They're basically easing up on the enforcement actions, which is also a big thing. We're now going to start to see so much growth, so much adoption, and so many big moves being made over the next couple months, years. I mean, this is such a huge game changer, and I'm very excited for what's about to happen to this space over the next couple weeks, months, and years ahead, because I'm telling you guys right now, this space is going to be so much more valuable than what it is today. We're sitting at roughly, $2.87 trillion in value. I personally believe that this space easily 10x's from here over the course of the next couple years. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, to get there. This cycle, I'm expecting 5 to 7 trillion, might even hit 10 trillion this cycle. But outside of that, this space is it's set for major adoption, major growth, and major expansion. And I'm very excited to be a part of this journey. And I'm very happy to have all of you along with me as well on this journey. So with that being said,
So shout out to Nash, in cash official. Thanks for joining the BTM Crypto News Network. And thanks for the updates. But as always, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for all your super chats. Thanks for everyone that support the channel and all my ex-members. Doesn't look like there's a big push on YouTube, but we definitely have X on lock. So thanks for joining. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for keeping the lights on at the Black Tiger Miner News Network. And we might do a Caspa video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments later this evening. But as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miner out.